Dads, what's the craziest way your son has ever wasted money? I never thought I'd be the dad ranting about financial irresponsibility, but here we are. My son Jake, brilliant kid, truly, has always had what I'll generously call unique interests. But this one takes the cake. It started when Jake was 17. He came home one day practically vibrating with excitement. "Dad, I found my calling," he announced, dropping his backpack on the kitchen counter. I looked up from my bills. "Yeah? What's that? Exotic beetles?" I laughed, then realized he wasn't joking. "They're investment grade," he explained, already pulling up photos on his phone. "This one's a golden stag from Japan. Goes for like $2,000. $2,000 for a bug?" I nearly choked. "Tell me you're not serious. It's a collector's market, Dad. Some go for tens of thousands." I shrugged it off as a passing fascination. Kids get obsessed with weird stuff all the time, right? I'd collected baseball cards. My wife had been into Beanie Babies. This was just Jake's thing. Then came graduation. Instead of asking for a car like normal kids, Jake wanted seed money for his beetle portfolio. His mother and I compromised. We matched what he'd saved from his part-time job, about $3,000, thinking the responsibility would teach him something. Oh, it taught us all something all right. Jake converted our garage into what he called his invertebrate investment sanctuary. Special humidity controls, temperature monitoring, custom terrariums. The electric bill doubled overnight. "This is getting out of hand," I told him after 6 months, and another $5,000 of his college fund had disappeared into beetles. "Dad, look at this spreadsheet," he countered, showing me growth projections that would make Wall Street jealous. "The Cyclomatus Metalifer I bought for $800 just appraised at $1,300. I couldn't argue with actual profits, so I backed off. Maybe the kid was onto something. Then came the disaster. Jake had leveraged his entire collection, now worth about $20,000 on paper, to secure a loan from some sketchy online exotic pet marketplace. He used it to purchase a single beetle, a Chirotinus jansoni. Price tag? $35,000. It's the crown jewel, he explained, showing me a beetle that, to my untrained eye, looked remarkably like every other shiny beetle in his collection. Only 17 confirmed specimens in private collections worldwide. The beetle arrived in a custom case with security features that would make the CIA jealous. Jake named it Midas. 3 days later, Midas escaped. I've never seen such frantic searching. We dismantled the garage. We set up beetle traps. Jake didn't sleep for 72 hours. We never found Midas. What we did find was Jake sobbing on the garage floor at 3 a.m., surrounded by empty terrariums. "I'm ruined," he kept saying. "Completely ruined." The beetle market crashed 2 weeks later. Some scandal involving counterfeit Japanese specimens. Jake's remaining collection, once valued at $20,000, was suddenly worth maybe $2,000. The loan still had to be paid. That was 5 years ago. Jake works in finance now, ironically. He paid off his beetle debt last year. We can laugh about it over beers. Mostly. Last Christmas, I gave him a small wrapped box. Inside was a toy beetle painted gold. "Very funny, Dad," he said, but I could see him wince. "Look underneath," I told him. Below the toy was a stock certificate. I'd invested the equivalent of what he'd lost on his beetle adventure into an index fund the day Midas escaped. "It's outperformed the beetle market by about 8,000%, I said. Jake just shook his head. "I still think Midas is out there somewhere living like a king." "Probably," I agreed. "Just not in your portfolio. We've agreed that his future children will never hear about Uncle Midas."